In 2015, artificial intelligence was a theory discussed over a dinner plate. By 2026, it manifested as gigawatt-scale infrastructure, sprawling across the American landscape. That dinner included Elon Musk and Sam Altman, who shared a specific fear. If a single, profit-driven corporation developed super-intelligent machines first, the risks to humanity would be catastrophic. Their solution was OpenAI, a nonprofit research lab with no shareholders and a mission to ensure that the benefits of AI were distributed to everyone, regardless of their ability to pay. Today, the organization is approaching $1 trillion valuation and is currently raising hundreds of billions to build its own industrial power plants. Moving from a charitable lab to a global powerhouse required a series of structural changes that many critics describe as a betrayal, but the internal logic of the company suggests these shifts were driven by a single, relentless pressure: the industrial cost of intelligence. For the first 2 years, OpenAI operated with the transparency of a university department. Researchers worked in shared spaces, openly published their code, and focused on small-scale reinforcement learning. This chart shows the compute wall hit in 2017. Increasing intelligence required an exponential increase in processing power and data. Philanthropy and research grants providing millions could not keep pace with a project requiring billions for hardware and electricity. This financial reality created the first major rift in the founding team. Elon Musk proposed taking majority control to pivot toward a commercial model. When the board refused, he walked away, leaving the lab's survival in doubt. To bridge the funding gap, the lab created OpenAI LP in 2019. This was a capped profit subsidiary, a hybrid designed to attract private investors by offering a return on their money while leaving the nonprofit board in charge of the mission. This structure allowed Microsoft to step in with an initial $1 billion investment, providing the massive server clusters necessary to train the next generation of language models. The lab solved its immediate financial crisis, but it was no longer a pure research entity. Now, the lab was tethered to the infrastructure and expectations of one of the largest corporations on Earth. In late 2022, the release of ChatGPT turned a decade of research into a global phenomenon. It reached 100 million users in 2 months, becoming the fastest-growing consumer product ever recorded. This success brought in billions in new revenue and turned the research lab into the center of a new tech arms race, attracting massive capital from NVIDIA, strategic investments from SoftBank, and backing from Apple. But the sudden commercial pressure split the staff. One group remained focused on the original safety mission, while another faction pushed to release more powerful models faster, racing to secure market share and fund future growth. In November 2023, the nonprofit board attempted to regain control by firing CEO Sam Altman. They cited concerns about his transparency and the speed of commercialization, hoping to pull the company back to its academic roots. The board's authority lasted less than a week. An overwhelming employee revolt and intense pressure from Microsoft forced Altman's reinstatement and the appointment of a new, more commercially aligned board. The failed coup demonstrated that the original nonprofit governance could not stand against the momentum of a multi-billion-dollar product and the people building it. By early 2025, the company began restructuring into a public benefit corporation. This move legally removed the profit caps for investors, effectively ending the 2015 experiment in nonprofit AGI development. As the valuation climbed towards $700 billion, many of the original safety researchers, including co-founder Ilya Sutskever, departed, signaling a clear shift in the company's internal culture. This evolution is currently peaking with Project Stargate, a $500 billion initiative to build data centers capable of consuming 7 gigawatts of power. It is a scale of infrastructure usually reserved for nation-states. Looking back at that 2015 dinner, the founders were terrified that a single, profit-driven entity would eventually own the path to superintelligence. OpenAI succeeded in building that path, but to pay for the journey, they had to become the very thing they were founded to prevent. They set out to build a machine for humanity, but to keep the lights on, they had to build an empire for the market.